She walked straight up to me naked, touched my face, and said, "Do even breathe." The stars outside the viewport of the human scout ship shimmered silently, distant and indifferent, while the derelict alien ship loomed before him like a dark, sleeping giant. It had no identification markings, no signal, no sound, only silence, yet it radiated power. Something had built this ship with care and left it to drift on the edge of known space. Alex's crew was hesitant. "Are we sure we should board it?" Lieutenant Myra Chen asked, her voice tight with unease. "It could be a trap." "Everything out here is a trap," Alex replied, his tone calm but firm. "If we want to understand what's out there, we have to take risks. That's why we're here." The airlock hissed open, and the team entered. The interior of the alien ship was unlike anything Alex had ever seen. The walls were smooth, metallic, yet organic, almost like living tissue frozen in metal. Strange symbols glowed faintly along the corridors, pulsing slowly like a heartbeat. The ship smelled faintly of ozone and metal, a clean scent but sharp, almost alive. Alex took the lead, his hand resting on the side of his laser pistol. Not because he expected a fight, he hoped he wouldn't, but because it was instinct. Every sound echoed in the hollow corridors. The ship was enormous, yet eerily empty. As they moved deeper, the lights flickered once, twice. Then from the shadows, a figure appeared. She was humanoid in shape, but unlike any human. She wore a suit that shimmered like liquid silver, fitting her like a second skin. Her face was hidden by a translucent visor, but her movements were unnervingly smooth, precise, and deliberate. She did not speak, but she was moving straight toward Alex. Alex froze. The team behind him tensed. Don't come any closer," Myra whispered, gripping her weapon. The figure raised her hand slowly, not threatening but commanding. She stopped just a few feet away from Alex. Then she said, her voice clear and calm, almost hypnotic, "Don't even breathe." Alex blinked. The words were a warning, yet they carried no hostility. He felt a shiver run down his spine. This was no ordinary alien. Whatever this being was, it was intelligent, aware, and very, very careful. "Commander Rayner," Myra whispered. "What does she mean?" "I don't know," Alex admitted. "But she's testing us. We have to be careful." The figure extended her hand toward Alex, palm open. It was a gesture of trust, or perhaps a challenge. Every instinct screamed at him to step back, to reach for his weapon, but he did neither. He took a slow, deliberate step forward. The moment he touched her hand, the ship vibrated softly. A low hum filled the corridor, as if the ship itself had recognized him. The symbols along the walls brightened, pulsating faster, almost like a heartbeat accelerating. The figure withdrew her hand, pointing ahead to a corridor that Alex hadn't noticed before. The humans exchanged nervous glances. "She wants us to follow," Alex said quietly. "No sudden moves, just follow her." The corridor led them into a large chamber. The room was circular, with a high ceiling that curved like a dome. In the center floated a strange device, suspended by invisible energy. It glowed with a soft blue light, radiating warmth without heat. It was unlike any human technology. The figure motioned toward the device. Alex stepped closer, careful to mirror her movements, careful not to trigger anything that might be dangerous. His mind raced. What was this device? A weapon, a machine, or something far stranger? Suddenly, the floor beneath them shifted. Panels slid open, revealing a series of glowing symbols. The air seemed to thicken, like time itself had slowed. The figure raised a hand again, this time pointing to the symbols. Alex realized she was not only guiding them, she was communicating. "Puzzle," he whispered. "She wants us to solve something." He knelt, examining the symbols. They were not language, not in any human sense. They were patterns, shifting and rotating as if alive. Alex's mind raced. He had encountered alien tech before, but this was different. It required thought, intuition, and imagination, human qualities. Myra crouched beside him. "Do you think it's safe?" "Safe," Alex scoffed quietly. "No, but we don't have a choice. This is what we do, we adapt, we survive, we solve problems no one else can. For hours they studied the patterns. The humanoid figure watched silently, never moving, never speaking. Each time Alex thought he had solved one part, the pattern shifted again, more complex than before. It was as if the ship itself was alive, testing them, probing their minds, measuring their responses. Finally, Alex noticed something. The symbols were not random. They followed logic, but not alien logic, human logic. They were testing reasoning, creativity, and moral judgment. The realization struck him like a hammer. The ship was not abandoned in the sense of being empty. It was a test for humans. He motioned to Myra, whispering, "This is what humans are for, to think, to adapt, to survive." Myra nodded, her fear replaced with determination. Together they approached the device at the center. The symbols shifted again, forming a single pattern that Alex recognized, a sequence that mirrored human mathematical constants, pi, phi, and e. The aliens had built this test specifically for species capable of abstract thought. Humans had passed the first stages without even realizing it. The figure stepped forward, closer to Alex this time, still watching. She pointed to a panel near the device. With careful hands, Alex manipulated it, entering the sequence. The device hummed, lights spinning, energy pulsing around them. A section of the wall slid open, revealing a smaller room filled with consoles, displays, and alien artifacts. Alex's heart raced. This was more than technology, it was knowledge, a treasure trove of understanding about physics, energy, and the universe, and it was now in human hands. The humanoid figure finally spoke again, her voice calm but powerful. "You are ready." "Only those who think, who question, who act with care may proceed." Alex nodded. "We understand, we're ready." Myra's eyes sparkled with excitement. This could change everything," she whispered. "Yes," Alex said, "it will, but we have to be careful. This is only the beginning. There will be more tests, more puzzles, more challenges. The universe isn't giving us anything for free." The figure extended her hand again, this time in a gesture of trust. Alex took it without hesitation. The moment his fingers brushed hers, the room shimmered with energy, the devices lighting up in recognition. It was as if the alien ship itself acknowledged that humans were worthy. And in that moment, Alex knew something profound. Humanity was not alone. Humanity was clever, resourceful, and resilient. The universe had underestimated them as it always did, but the figure's warning still echoed in his mind. "Don't even breathe." It was a reminder, any careless move could destroy everything. The challenge had only begun and the stakes were higher than Alex had ever imagined. He looked at Myra and the team. "We keep moving, one step at a time. Watch everything, think before we act, and above all stay human." The team nodded. They followed the figure deeper into the ship, their minds alive with questions, fear, and hope. And as the corridor lights pulsed around them, Alex felt a thrill he had never felt before. Humanity had been tested, and they had passed. But the real test, the one that could change the fate of humanity, was still ahead. Alex and his team stepped cautiously into the smaller chamber the alien figure had revealed. The walls shimmered faintly, alive with symbols and energy that seemed almost liquid. The devices hummed softly, responding to their presence as if the ship itself was aware of them. "Stay sharp," Alex whispered, glancing at Myra and the others. "This isn't just a test of courage, it's a test of thinking. One wrong move and we might not get another chance." The alien figure led them to a central console, a platform of smooth, glowing material that extended into the air like a floating table. Panels rose up around it, displaying shifting symbols that Alex quickly recognized as patterns, not random, but logic puzzles far beyond human technology. Alex crouched, studying the panels. Each one displayed a series of symbols that rotated, merged, and split apart. To a casual observer, it would have seemed impossible to understand, but Alex saw the structure beneath the chaos. It was a sequence, a puzzle one that required patience, reasoning, and intuition. "Looks like she wants us to solve it," Myra said, kneeling beside him. "But I don't even know where to start." "Start with what we know," Alex said. "Break it into parts. Humans can see patterns that others miss. That's our strength." Hours passed as they worked. Every time they solved one part, the next puzzle appeared, more complex, more intricate. The alien figure stood silently nearby, observing. It never spoke, never intervened, but Alex could feel her presence as a guide, a mentor perhaps, but one that demanded perfection. At one point, the floor beneath them shifted again. A faint vibration ran through the chamber, and panels opened to reveal alien symbols etched in relief, glowing faintly with blue energy. Alex traced them with his fingers, noticing something remarkable. The symbols responded to human touch, rearranging themselves in subtle ways depending on the pattern of movement. "It's alive," he murmured. "Not alive like us, but it reacts to thought, to touch." "It's testing more than skill, it's testing us." Myra frowned. "Testing what?" "Everything," Alex said. "Logic, creativity, patience, morality. Every decision we make matters. If we misjudge this, we could trigger something dangerous." The team continued, carefully moving from one panel to the next. They learned to read the subtle feedback of the symbols. A slight glow meant correct action. A dimming meant error. Alex began to notice that the patterns resembled human mathematical sequences, Fibonacci, prime numbers, ratios, but in forms the alien mind had twisted in ways humans had never imagined. "This is brilliant," Alex whispered. "They designed this so only a species that thinks abstractly can solve it. We're literally being evaluated as a species." As they progressed, the alien figure finally approached closer. Her movements were precise, almost ceremonial. She extended her hand toward a floating sphere in the center of the chamber. The sphere pulsed, spinning slowly as if alive. Symbols projected from it, forming a three-dimensional pattern that rotated in space. Alex stared. "It's a multi-dimensional puzzle. Not just on a screen in the air, in space itself. We have to think in ways we've never thought before." Myra swallowed. "How do we even begin?" Alex smiled faintly. "The same way we always do, step by step, trust our instincts, stay human." They worked for hours. The patterns shifted faster now, responding to every minor mistake. Alex noticed that the alien figure would pause when the team hesitated, as if encouraging them to keep trying. She was not an enemy, she was a guide, testing their ability to persevere under pressure. Finally, they reached the last stage of the puzzle. The floating sphere split into dozens of smaller spheres, each spinning independently, each containing a fragment of the larger pattern. One wrong move, one mistimed step, and the spheres would collapse back into the central mass, forcing them to start over. Alex felt a surge of adrenaline. His hands moved carefully, touching each sphere, tracing patterns, rotating them in perfect sequence. Myra followed his lead, her movements precise, synchronized with his. The spheres responded to their combined efforts, glowing brighter, spinning faster. Suddenly, a sharp alarm echoed through the chamber. The floor vibrated violently. The alien figure raised her hand, stopping them. A wave of energy swept over the room. The spheres froze. Alex frowned. "We did something wrong," the figure's voice finally echoed, calm but commanding. "Not wrong, incomplete. The test has multiple layers. You have solved the surface, but deeper challenges remain." Alex's stomach tightened. He had sensed this. The puzzles were not just games. They were assessments, tests of judgment, risk evaluation, and human creativity. Every correct move so far had earned them progress. Now they had to go deeper. The figure gestured toward a hatch that had opened in the far wall. Beyond it lay a narrow corridor, walls lined with glowing alien symbols and conduits pulsing with energy. "Go," she commanded. "The next stage awaits." Alex motioned for his team to follow. "Keep your eyes open. Everything here could be dangerous, but remember, Humans survive because we adapt and we think. They stepped into the corridor. The air hummed with power. Panels shifted beneath their feet, responding to their presence. Symbols rearranged themselves as they moved, forming new sequences to challenge their minds. Each step required focus, every action measured. Myra touched one panel and the symbol glowed. "It's responding to us," she whispered. "It's like it's alive." "Yes," Alex said. "It's learning from us, reacting. And it's testing more than logic, it's testing patience, judgment, and trust. That's human strength." As they reached the end of the corridor, they entered a larger chamber. In the center floated a massive structure, spinning slowly. It looked like a crystalline tree, with branches that twisted and split endlessly, covered in glowing runes. Energy flowed along its branches, casting shadows that danced across the walls. "This is incredible," Myra said. "What is it?" Alex studied it carefully. "It's a control system, a repository. But more than that, it's a test. To access it, we have to solve its patterns. It's alive with logic, but it requires intuition too. We can't just brute force it. We have to understand it." The alien figure stepped closer, pointing to a sequence at the base of the crystalline structure. Symbols rose into the air, forming patterns that rotated in 3 dimensions. Alex and Myra began to manipulate them, tracing the paths with their hands, observing how the sequences interacted. Hours passed. Sweat beaded on their foreheads. The team communicated silently, pointing, nodding, adjusting. The crystalline structure pulsed, reacting to their movements. Slowly, deliberately, they solved one sequence after another. Finally, the structure shimmered, collapsing inward, forming a central sphere of light. It hovered in the air, pulsating gently. The alien figure approached, her movements calm, measured. She extended her hand toward the sphere. Alex understood immediately. This was the final test of trust. If he and his team could reach the sphere and interact correctly, they would succeed. If they failed, the energy could overwhelm them. He glanced at Myra. "Ready?" She nodded. "Let's do this." Together, they stepped forward. Alex reached out, touching the sphere with both hands. Energy flowed through him, not pain, not danger, but awareness. The symbols and patterns he had struggled to understand now made sense. The puzzle had taught them, guided them, shaped them. The sphere pulsed brightly. Symbols formed in the air, spelling a single word in a language he could understand without reading. "Worthy." The alien figure nodded once sharply. "You are ready," she said. "Humans are capable of thought, courage, and trust. You have proven yourselves. But the universe is not done testing you. Greater challenges lie ahead. You must carry this knowledge carefully, for it is both a gift and a responsibility." Alex stepped back, heart pounding. "We understand, and we will rise to the challenge. Humanity will not fail." The team exited the chamber, carrying with them knowledge, awareness, and a renewed sense of purpose. The alien figure watched them leave, her hand raised in a gesture of farewell. As the hatch closed behind them, Alex looked at Myra. "We're only at the beginning," he said. "The universe has plans for us, and it expects humans to rise to meet them." Myra smiled faintly, exhaustion and excitement mixed on her face. "Then let's not disappoint it." Alex nodded. They moved forward into the deeper sections of the alien ship, ready to face whatever tests awaited. They were humans, clever, resilient, and unbroken, and the universe would learn that soon enough. The ship hummed around them, alive and aware, guiding them deeper. The true puzzle was just beginning. The deeper chambers of the alien ship stretched endlessly, corridors twisting like the inside of some giant, crystalline organism. Alex led his team cautiously, their boots clicking softly on the glowing floor. Each step seemed measured by the ship itself, as though it could sense their confidence, their fear, and their every thought. "This place, it's alive," Myra whispered, eyes wide as symbols shifted along the walls. "Every step, every move, it reacts." "Yes," Alex said quietly. "And that's why humans can survive here. We don't just react to the world, we think. We adapt. That's what the aliens want to see." Ahead, the humanoid figure waited. Her silver suit shimmered faintly in the soft glow of the walls. Alex noticed something new. Her movements carried urgency. She pointed toward a massive chamber ahead, and energy pulses ran along the corridor, stronger than anything they had seen before. "This is it," Alex said. "The final stage." They stepped inside the chamber. It was vast, larger than any human shipyard hangar. At the center floated a colossal crystalline structure, twisting and splitting like a living tree of light. Energy arcs danced along its branches, casting shadows that moved like waves on water. The air vibrated with a low hum, a deep, resonant sound that seemed to reach inside the mind as well as the body. Alex swallowed. "We've never seen anything like this." The alien figure gestured. "To succeed, you must interact with the core. But beware, it tests not only your mind but your instincts, your courage, your ability to make decisions under pressure." Alex nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility. This was more than a puzzle. It was a challenge of survival and morality, the kind that could define humanity's place among the stars. He approached the nearest branch of the structure. Energy flowed along it, and symbols appeared, floating in midair. They were three-dimensional, complex, and constantly shifting. To touch one without knowing the correct sequence could trigger a catastrophic reaction. "Step carefully," Alex whispered to the team. "Watch the energy. Don't rush. Think before every move." Myra and the others nodded. Together, they began to work. Alex traced the first symbol with his hands, feeling it vibrate beneath his touch. He rotated it, aligning it with the others. Slowly, the pattern began to stabilize, glowing brighter with each correct alignment. The structure seemed to respond to their thought process. Symbols rearranged themselves, forming new sequences as if the ship were communicating in its own language. Alex realized that brute force would never work here. Only careful observation, reasoning, and intuition could allow them to progress. Hours passed. Sweat ran down Alex's forehead. The patterns grew more complex, their speed increasing. The energy in the chamber pulsed faster, almost like a heartbeat. At one point, a sequence misaligned and a surge of energy shot from the structure, sending everyone stumbling backward. "Are you okay?" Alex shouted over the hum. Myra nodded, brushing herself off. "Yeah, that was close, too close." "This is designed to push us," Alex said. "It's not just testing skill. It's testing our ability to stay calm under pressure, our ability to think when the universe is trying to overwhelm us. That's what makes humans strong." They returned to the structure, adjusting their approach. Alex noticed that the alien figure had moved closer, observing silently. She was no longer a guide, she was a judge. Every subtle movement, every decision was under scrutiny. Finally, they reached a critical moment. The central branch of the crystalline structure separated into smaller nodes, floating independently. Each node contained a fragment of an enormous pattern, interconnected with the others. Alex looked at the nodes. One wrong alignment and the entire system could collapse. He glanced at Myra. "This is it, the final sequence. We do this together. Watch my moves, match them, and trust your instincts." Myra nodded. Slowly, they began to manipulate the nodes. The energy hummed, brightening as they worked. Symbols aligned, rotated, and merged. Alex noticed a pattern emerging, one that mirrored not only mathematics but strategy, ethics, and foresight. It was as if the structure demanded understanding beyond mere logic. "This is incredible," Myra whispered. "It's testing not just our intelligence but our judgment. Our ability to choose wisely." Alex smiled faintly. "Exactly. That's why humans survive. We don't just think. We anticipate. We make choices when nothing is certain. That's what the aliens want to see." As they aligned the last nodes, the chamber shook violently. Energy arcs lanced out in every direction. The symbols glowed blindingly bright. Alex felt the surge of power, almost overwhelming. Yet he held his focus, steadying himself. Suddenly, the alien figure raised her hand. The energy arcs froze. A calm settled over the chamber, as if the universe itself were holding its breath. Alex looked at the central sphere that had formed from the nodes. It hovered in midair, pulsing with soft, radiant light. A single word appeared in a language he could understand without reading: humanity. The figure stepped forward, her voice clear and resonant. You have proven yourselves. You have shown ingenuity, courage, patience, and moral judgment. You are worthy of understanding, worthy of knowledge. The universe recognizes you. Alex's chest swelled with pride. He looked at his team. They had faced impossible odds, navigated a living alien ship, and proven that humans were not just survivors but thinkers, innovators, and problem solvers. Myra stepped forward. What does this mean?" she asked, awe in her voice. "It means," Alex said slowly, "that humans are ready. We've shown the universe what we can do, and now we gain what was meant only for those who could rise to the challenge." The crystalline structure began to dissolve, not into destruction but into a stream of data, knowledge, and energy. It flowed toward them, into their ship, into their minds. They understood advanced physics, alien energy systems, starship design far beyond human capabilities, and strategies to explore the cosmos safely and wisely. Alex felt the knowledge surging through him. It was overwhelming, but he adapted. He absorbed it, understanding not just the how but the why. The alien figure watched silently, her expression unreadable behind her visor. "This is only the beginning," she said. "The universe will continue to test you. But now you carry the advantage of knowledge, insight, and the understanding of your own strength." Alex nodded. "We will honor it. Humanity will rise to meet every challenge, every test. We are ready." The figure extended her hand in farewell. Alex reached out, touching it one last time. The chamber pulsed, then quieted. The alien figure turned and walked back into the ship, disappearing into the shadows. Alex looked at his team. "Let's get back to our ship. We have knowledge to bring home, discoveries to share, and a universe to explore." As they exited the alien ship, the stars outside seemed brighter, larger, and more alive. Alex felt a thrill he had never felt before. Humanity had been tested, challenged, and found worthy. And now, with knowledge and courage as their allies, they could face whatever the cosmos threw at them. Myra glanced at Alex, a smile spreading across her face. "We did it. We really did it." "Yes," Alex said, looking at the stars. "And this is only the beginning. The universe is bigger than we imagined, but we are ready. Humans are ready, and nothing will stop us from reaching our place among the stars." The team boarded their scout ship, engines humming, ready to return home with alien knowledge that could change humanity forever. But in the back of Alex's mind, he knew this was not the end. The universe was vast, full of mysteries and challenges, and humanity had just proven that they could rise to meet them all. The alien ship drifted silently behind them, alive and aware, a witness to humanity's triumph. Alex knew that other civilizations would soon recognize the same truth. Humans were clever, resourceful, and unstoppable when united in purpose. And as the scout ship jumped into faster-than-light travel, Alex felt it clearly in his bones. The universe would never underestimate humanity again.